Hello champs, welcome to all of you on my Pyara Sa channel Coding from Mumbai. In this video, I am talking about a new topic of JavaScript Basics to Advanced playlist. That is what? That is data types in JavaScript. Okay. In first video of this particular playlist, I already talking about the variables. If you are not watching that video, so please go and watch that video. After that, you have to watch this video. And this is a very important video in terms of basics of JavaScript. So in this video, I'm talking about what different data type of value I can able to store into variable. Okay. And second most important thing is what is the differences between primitive data type and reference data type. How a variable which is a reference type are stored into memory, and second thing, and same for the primitive data type. How it work, what is the working and the functionality of a primitive data type into the memory. Okay. So let's talk about that. So let's start the video and enjoy the video. Hello. Now we start the video. So I'm simple open our Replit profile here website, and each and every code whatever writing into the video I am leaving in the description link, so you are able to got all the content that I'm writing into the particular each and every video. Okay. So for that, I'm simple comes our home page and creating a Replit for this particular video. So I want to talk about Node.js project. Title of the project is data types. Now I'm simple creating a Node.js project of name as data types. It automatically create a project and index.js file providers for writing the JavaScript code. Again, I want to create new file, that is memory.draw file. For drawing the structure of the memory, I have required this particular file. Okay. So now I just want to open this folder and file and then index.js. So today topic is data types. Data types in JavaScript. Now, before talking about the JavaScript data types, I just want to talk a question. That is, JavaScript is a dynamic type language or static type language? This is a very important question which is asked in each and every interview question. Means JavaScript is a dynamic type language or a static type language. So answer is JavaScript is a dynamic type language. Why? Question is why? Why JavaScript is a dynamic type language? So let's talk about that. I'm simple creating a variable for a is equal to, for example, storing a value aman, for b is equal to 45, for c is equal to true. Sorry, you are able to see in this example. I am creating three variables by using a var keyword a, b, and c. And in a variable, I am storing the string type of value. In b variable, I am storing the integer type of value. In c variable, I am storing the boolean type of value. So how JavaScript become a dynamic type language? Because during creation of a variable, I am not writing any line of code, any type of keyword that are decide that this particular variable a store a string type of value only. No, this is not happen. Means at a compile time, the compiler automatically decide that this particular variable a is store which type of value in his body. Means I am not going to provide any restriction. Yes, this variable is to store only the string type value. This variable b only are able to store the integer type of value. No, if I want to store the decimal type, so I can able to store that. Understand? If I want to store the decimal type value into variable a, so I can able to do that. This is the reason why JavaScript is a dynamic type language. Means storing a value into variable, the type of value is not decided at a at writing the some line of code. The type of value that are stored into variable is decided at a compile time or at a runtime. This is the reason why JavaScript is a dynamic type language. Now, if I want to talk about for more understanding purpose, so I'm talking about in Java language. In Java language or C++ language, how we are able to store a variable. So if I want to create a value, create a variable and I want to store the string type. So I have to write here string name is equal to Aman. So at a compile time, means whenever I'm writing a code, at that time I have to identify that this particular variable store the which type of value. Understand? We have to decide the type of a value that are stored by a variable at what at when I am writing the code. If I want to create a variable which store the integer type values, so I have to write here like this. Means at writing the line of code timing, we have to provide the type. Means this particular variable store the integer type of value only. Understand? But in JavaScript there is not any rule, there is not any restriction are provided. We are very flexible. Dynamically they are identified that this variable store the string type value, this variable can able to store the boolean type value or any other type. But in other languages, this is the reason why Java language is a static type language. Understand? This is the reason why Java is a static type language, because we have to provide the data type which I want to store into the particular variable at that time when I am writing the line of code. But when I'm talking about JavaScript, so there is a flexibility to store any type of value into a variable. This is the reason JavaScript is a dynamic type language. Okay, so now I'm not going to remove this. I just want to comment so you are able to understand into the very well. Now I'm talking about the data types. So I'm just want to write here comment, and then I'm writing here in the square bracket data types. Okay, so you are able to understand very well. Now here I'm just writing the first of all data types are categorized into two types. First one is primitive data type, second one is non-primitive, it means reference type. So I'm writing here first type is primitive type, or many people say it value type, and second type of data types is reference type. So I just want to comment both of them. Now let's see what different types are contained by primitive types. After then I'm talking about reference type. So here simple, I'm just writing all the types of different type of value that we are able to store in a variable, that is by using a primitive data type. So let's start. First one is string. I'm just writing here. Okay, so all, not all, only just writing like this. I'm writing here first one is string, second one is number, and then null type. Null is also type in JavaScript, and undefined. After that boolean is also a type where we are able to store the value of true and false. After boolean I think 6 or 7, so 5, and then I'm talking about the string number boolean. Then symbol is also a type of data type, and then one is that is big int. 3, 6 and 7. Okay, so these are the 7 primitive data types are present into the JavaScript language. Okay, so I'm talking about one by one all of these things. First of all, first start with the and in reference type. Okay, in reference type, what are the types? So I also want to write here what is this. Okay, I have to like on this way. Okay, so in reference type, data types are first one is object, second one is array, and third one is function. You know, I'm not talking about in these terms in any video, because this is only second video of JavaScript, so you did not know anything. So I just want to give you the small introduction about all these things. Then I'm talking about how they works. Now I'm talking about the primitive data type, that is this 7 data type. Okay, so for that I'm simple comes here and I'm writing example for all these things. So I'm creating a variable, let a is equal to, for example, Aman. You are able to see a variable a contain a string type of value which I am provided into the double quotes. What is the meaning of string? String is nothing but a collection of a character which includes with a curly, not a curly bracket, includes with double quotes or single quote also. Then I'm talking about second example, that is number type. B is equal to, let's assume 45. Let C is equal to 8.7.3. You are able to see in the JavaScript this 45 as well as 18.7.3 also both are comes into the number data type. then let d is equal to, which is a stored null value. Now question in your mind, sir, what is the null type? Why we are using the null type in JavaScript? What is the necessary for this? What is the use of null type? So if my experience you are want to take, let's assume I'm creating any variable, okay, but what the value I want to give into that variable is not decided at the creation of that particular variable. So there is two options. First option is I'm not providing any value for that particular variable. Understand? So that variable become undefined. This is not a good thing. So if I want to put a variable empty, so I am just putting the value that is null. Null means this variable d is empty. This particular d variable does not contain any type of value in his body. Okay, for example I'm talking about temperature. I have a temperature machine. Okay, I want to do the coding for that. Let's assume before before measuring the temperature of any area, they provide us, for example, 0. If you did not have the null type, you provide the value that is 0. 0 is not temperature, but you want to use 0 as a empty, means I'm not taking any temperature measurement till now, but 0 is also a value. You have to understand 0 is also value. Many people think that this 0 may be the temperature of that particular area. So for solving that this type of problem, we have to use null type. So if there is a not any, I'm not measuring temperature till now, till that I'm just using the null type. Understand? This is the reason why I'm using null, means I want to put this variable empty at that moment of time. Okay, now let e is equal to undefined. What is the meaning of undefined? If I'm creating this particular variable e, I'm not assign any value to particular this variable e at that moment of time. This variable is undefined. Understand? For example, I just want to console.log and e. Let's see the output. What is the output of particular variable? So I'm just like this. Now I want to run the program. See the output. What is this? I think there is any error. We have to understand now why this program is not running. Error cannot be run with the idle non-stopping bits offline. What is this? I think internet is not working or not. I have to check it now. I just want to save the program and okay, I want to refresh that. Let's see it running or not. Okay, it may be run. What is the problem? I don't know. Now it's loaded. I just want to run again this file. You are able to see, if I am just creating a variable a, and I want to print that variable. So output is undefined, means this particular variable at the moment of creation, only declaration part is there. I'm not initialize that variable, so that variable contain a undefined value. If I want to put undefined explicitly, so I'm just writing undefined. Okay, now also output is not going to be changed. Undefined. I am able to put the value as undefined from our side, or we are able to put the without initialize that variable automatically. Implicitly that variable is undefined. Now let f is equal to true. You will know that what is the meaning of boolean type? Means boolean type value are stored into two types of value. First one is what? First one is true and second one is false. Okay, now I'm talking about the f, then g value is equal to symbol. There is a problem. First of all, I just want to tell you what is the use of symbol data type. This data type is not present in ES5. In ES5 means before 2015 in JavaScript there is no inclusion of, there is not any birth of symbol data type. But when new type of comes, means when new data types are come at that moment of time, this symbol is used. This symbol data type is used. This is the reason why I am talking about this symbol particularly. Understand? So now let's talk about that. First of all, what is the use of symbol? What is the use of this symbol data type? Now let's understand the concept of symbol data type. How we are able to store this symbol. Symbol data type is nothing but a data type. This is a class. So I'm just using the symbol constructor. Okay, by using the constructor of symbol class, we are able to create a variable. We are able to store a value into particular variable. That variable become the unique variable in whole program. What is the meaning of that? For example, I'm creating a class or any program in which I'm taking the data or information of student. There are maximum chances 2 or 3 students have a same name. So how I'm able to identify that? For that purpose, means for storing the unique data, is known as a symbol. For example, in our coaching, in my classes, there are two students. Both the students have same name, that is Sanjay. Now, how we are able to use this symbol data type into the name of Sanjay to identify Sanjay different. So, for example, if I'm putting the here name like Sanjay, okay, also again a create a variable fg and then fgh is equal to symbol, and I'm just writing here same name. I just want to copy paste. I'm not going to write, so you are able to see I'm not making any changes. Both that value means value variable g as well as variable h both are containing the same data, that is Sanjay. But why I'm using the question is I'm using the symbol function. This is the reason why g and h is not equal. If I want to print console dot log g equal to h. What is the meaning of triple equal to? Triple equal to, it means when I want to compare two variable, so both the variable does not compare only by string by data type but also value. So comparison between two variable with the value type as well as its data type also. Okay, so I just want to compare these two name, that is the name is same but storing in different variable. I want to check the g and h equal to or not. Okay, so let's run the program, see the output. Output is error. I think symbol is a capital letter. I have to write. I'm making a mistake. I'm sorry for that. Let's take understand it. So I just want to again run the program. See what is the output? G and H is not equal to, means G and H is not equal. So for storing the same value or different value, whatever value we want, but if my requirement is this value become the unique value in whole program. So how I am able to store that? Let's understand what happen if I'm simple. Let G is equal to, I'm just writing the string Sanjay, and then let H is equal to Sanjay. Okay, I just want to run the program, see the output. Again I want to run the program. You are able to see the output. True means when I'm just putting the value G and H directly, Sanjay with the same name, so you are able to understand G and H both the variable are equal. But what happen if I want to store both the variable in different, if I want both the variable, I'm just storing in same variable G and H but by using symbol constructor. So what happen? G and H become the G and H variable become the unique when G is not same as H. So this is the use of what? Symbol data type. By using symbol data type, we are able to make any value as a unique value in whole program. Okay, so now I just want to comment it now. Now another type, that is the, let's say a big int. I'm talking about that. Let g I is equal to, what is the meaning of big int? You know that I am storing the number in variable b as well as variable c. But in JavaScript, there is a type of limitation of storing the data number or integer value. It may be a float value, whatever value, but there is a chances of what? Limitation means only you are able to store 10 to power 25 or 26. I'm not remember that much, but there is a limitation. So if I have to use I have to store too much big value into variable, for that we have to do something. Understand what I'm saying? If I want to store too much big data, too much big number into a variable, so I am not able to store directly by writing this line of code. Okay, let's assume I just want to put some value. For example, like this number is a very big number. I just want to put into that. Okay, now I just want to save the program and run the program, and let's see the output. What is the output of the program when I'm putting the very large number into variable? Okay, I just want to run the program. There's not any error. Why? If I want to increase that, there is not any error. So I think I am doing any mistake here, or any limitation is also here. So it may be much bigger number. Numeric literal, what is the message? Numeric literals with absolute value equal to 2 to the power 53 or greater are too large to be represented accurately as integers. Understand? This is the error are provided by our code editor. What is say 2 to the power 53 means we are able to store a integer value or a float value or whatever value we want to store into a number data type. So we are only able to store 2 to the power 53 type, 2 to the power 53 long number only. If I want to store too much long, so I have to use big int. I have to use big int data type. So how we are able to store? How I'm creating a big int data type? I'm simple writing the number, whatever number I'm writing, and in the last, after ending the last digit, I'm just putting the small n. You are able to see when I'm removing the L n, then there is a small type of error are shown by the editor. If I'm putting the n here, small n, so error is gone. It means when I'm putting the n, so the data type of this particular variable I is big int type. So we are able to store value that is greater than 2 to the power 53. So I think your concept about the this 7 user defined, means not predefined data type, that is the primitive data type, are complete. Now there is a function provided in JavaScript. By using that function, we are able to check it that this variable is which type of data is contained. That is type of method. So I'm simple write console.log. I'm writing a type of. Okay, and then here I'm writing a what? I'm just writing A, B, C, then D, then E, then F, then D, then H, then I. Okay, I just want to run the program and see the output. Oh my god, this is not good things. I think I have to remove this one. Now let's see what is the program output. Okay, again it shows me type of type of like this. If I'm putting, oh, it's error. I have to mix, I have to use the separate so I am able to understand. Type of like this. Oh, okay, I'm just writing in not only single, I am writing in the like this type of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Now I just want to run the program. Okay, it works now. Okay, I'm simply using a, if you want to store, if you want to print many different variable into same line, so you just simply write a square bracket. In that bracket you are able to print that. And simple, I'm just creating a square bracket. In that I'm using a type of method, which method is used for finding or fetching the what is the data type of this particular variable. So I just want to check it now. If I want to run, so it always show me the big int. Why only big int? Why it not means make me this? So I think it not working that amount of time. So I'm just, without confusion, I'm just writing console.log, and then I'm writing type of A, and then I just want to copy paste. What is this? Okay, then I just want to change it all of this. B, then C, then D, then E, then F, then G, H, last one is I. Okay, now see the out program. I'm simple, you are able to see. I want to run the program. Now you are able to see the output. Means, well, let's assume, let's see, this particular a variable is a string type. Understand, whatever type they are containing a variable. Second one is number type, third one is also number type. I'm telling you, 45 as well as decimal number both are comes into the same type, that is number type. Then D is a null type. Null is not a type, null is type, but null type returns the object type value. Understand, means a variable that contains null value, the return value by the null type is object type. This is a very confusing and very popular interview question. What the null type return? The null type return the object type of value. And this is actually absolutely boolean type, and before it that is undefined type, and these two is the symbol type, because I'm using the symbol constructor for storing the data. And last one is that is I, that is the big int type. So these are seven our what these are the seven these are seven of our data types, primitive data type, which I'm talking about that. Okay, now I'm just comment all of them. Now I'm talking about the this one, that is reference type. I just want to look like this. You are able to identify that where primitive data type are ints and where reference type are starts. So I'm talking about this now. A reference type. What is the meaning of reference type? Let's understand first. Object is nothing but a block that contain a data into key value pair wise data. Understand what I'm saying? Object is nothing but a block with enclosed with a curly bracket which store the data into key value pair wise. What is an array? Array is nothing but a collection of a element into a group. What is function? Function is nothing but a block of code which is execute whenever we are call the function. In simple word, I'm just giving the small introduction all three data type. I'm not talking about each other because these three are very long topic. I'm talking about in the our upcoming videos. So let's talk about first, that is the object type, how we are able to create object. So object, what is this object type? So for that I'm simply here create a object. Let obj is equal to, you have to understand, I'm simply creating a block by using curly bracket. In that I'm storing data into key and value pair wise. So I'm storing name and then common, then what is profile, what I'm writing, profile developer, then salary, let's assume for example maybe, okay. So you have to understand, I am simply creating an object obj and in that I am storing the three key value pair. This key and this is a key name, profile and salary are the key, among developer and I think 4,50,000 is the value. So we have to understand this is not 4,50,000 actually, now it becomes 4,50,000. So this is the object, means in the object key and value we are able to store any the type of variable into the value into the particular curly bracket. So this is example of object type. Now I just want to console.log obj. Let's see what is the output of the type. And simple run the code and see the output. Now you are able to see the output. It returns us a block that is closed into the curly bracket. First the key, then value, then comma, then q, key, then value, then key, then value. It is the object type. I'm talking about second type of data type, that is the array type. So array looks like let arr is equal to, which close with a square bracket. I am putting the data, for example 1 to 1, then Akash Sukla, then let's assume its salary is 5 lakh. Okay, I just want to put the console.log arr. Now I just want to run the program and see the output. You have to understand very well this is, that is, I am simply creating an array which contain a, which enclosed with a square bracket and which contain a different data type of value separated by the semicolon. Understand? This is example of array, how you are able to create array, that is a reference type value. Now I am just running the code. You are able to see it returns a returns an array of which includes with a square bracket and containing all the data separated by the comma. Now I'm talking about last type, that is what, guess what, I'm simply creating a function o function fun, console.log im function. I'm telling you one thing, that is function is nothing but a block of code that we are able to run the code by calling that function. So I'm simply calling the function by using the function name, that is fun. Now I just want to run the program. You are able to see am function is printed. I'm simply creating a function and calling that particular function. This is the example of all three these. So I'm just want to use one thing here. Okay, I just want to uncomment this object type, as well as I also want to uncomment this array type, and I also want to uncomment this function calling. Okay, I'm simple create a console.log type of, then I want to obj, what is the type of object, then console.log type of array, then console.log type of fun. I just want to check it here. What are types of data type? Means reference type is what types of. So I'm just running the code. You're able to see this is object which is the object type. Array is also object type, means this array is also a object type. And last one is that is function is a function type. What is the data type? We are storing into variable. Understand? So this all these things are the example for object type, means reference type, as well as the primitive data type. Now very major and most important topic are remaining of the video. That is what is the differences between the primitive data type and the what is the difference between primitive data type and reference data type? What is differences? So let's talk about that. I'm simple comes into here and I'm just writing like this, then block difference between primitive and reference type. Okay, now you are able to understand what are the differences between primitive type and the reference type. So I'm simple taking example, and by using that example I want to explain you the major difference between these two type of value. So I'm simple first I want to talk about the primitive type. First I just want to tell you one thing. Primitive type is copy the value by their value, copy the variable by their value. Let's take understand. I just want to write here primitive copy the value by copy the variable. I'm so sorry. Copy the variable by their value. Okay, this is a very major point in about primitive type. Primitive type means primitive copy the variable. If I want to copy the variable of any variable into a second variable, so that variable copy the variable by their value. For example, I'm just writing a is equal to 340. Understand? And let b is equal to a. What I'm doing here, I'm simple creating variable a which contain the 340, and again I'm creating variable b, and I'm simple assign the value of variable a into variable b. Let's understand. I just want to print console.log a is equal to b. Let's check what is this. Output is output of a particular program. That is true. A is equal to b. If I'm just writing again one type here, a is equal to b, so it also true. But what I want to teach you, what I want to make you the perfect things, means I'm simple creating variable a and putting the value of variable a into 340, and I'm creating variable b and I'm simple copy the value of variable a into variable b. Now I just want to put it like this. Now I'm simple doing one thing. I'm simple putting the value again. I want to update the value of b, for example not 440, like 90. Understand what I'm doing here? I'm simple, you are able to understand, creating variable a that contain a value 340. Again I'm creating variable b that contain a value, whatever value contained by variable a, and simple copy the value of a into b, and then then I want to update the value of b. Now you have to understand, I am copy the value of a into b, and then after that I just want to print the value of, I just want to update the value of b. Now if I want to print the value of a, I just want that when value of a is change or not. Why change? Because value of a is same as the value of b. If I'm changing the value of b, so I just want to check the value of a is changing or not. So again I just want to run the program and see the output. A is change or not, so there is not make any changes into the a. Now one thing is clear about primitive type. I'm talking about now in reference type. So reference copy the variable by their reference or address. Let's understand what is the meaning of this. I'm simple creating object, let a is equal to, I'm creating object which contain a name like Akash. Not Akash, I'm simple creating a variable a that contain, let's assume name is equal to Akash. Okay, now I am creating another variable b and assign the value of b into a. I want to change the name of variable so you are not able to confuse that. Okay, I'm creating an object a, this particular, and storing into x variable, Again, I'm creating another object y, and I'm just want to copy the value of, I'm just want to copy the value of what, value of variable x into value of variable y. So I'm just want to print the first y. What is the output of that y? So let's see. I'm simple copy paste, so same output is I expect that same output is comes whatever value contained by the ax variable. So same here, variable y also contain an object that contain a string type key value pair, name is equal to Akash. Now by using that second variable, that is y, which contain the, which copy the data of x into y, by using that variable I want to change the value inside the x. So I'm simple writing here y dot name is equal to Shubham. Now I just want to print the value of, I just also again want to print the value of y. I want to check value of y is update or not. So let's understand. Yes, it's update. Before it is Akash, after it is become Subham when I'm changing this. But what is happen here? What is happen here? I'm simple changing, make a changes into the y variable, which contain a same data as data are contained by the variable x. Now by using that y variable, I just want to change the value of y variable inside there. Now I want to print the data of x. Is x is changed or not? So let's understand. I'm just putting the value x. You have to understand x is changed now. X becomes the Subham, and this x contain the Akash variable. But this object, this particular object, is make changes by the another variable, that is y. In this example, I am putting the value of a into the b as a same value, but when I'm updating the value of b, so a, there is not I make any changes into the a variable. This is example of primitive type, and this is example of reference type. I'm creating object x which contain a name is a variable, and again I'm creating another variable y and copy all the data of x into y. After that, by using that y variable, I want to update the value of y variable, and then magic is here. This I am simple updating the value of y variable, but the whole data contained by x variable also is going to be updated. That is the reason, that is the meaning of reference type. And what this is a definition of a difference between the reference type and the primitive type. Now I just want to comment this all this code. Now I want to explain you another level how it works into terms of memory. So for that, I'm simply creating the file memory.draw. So I'm simple writing here one thing, that is what, primitive type. Okay, large, then type is this. So for that, I'm simply creating memory here, so you are able to understand how it's work. Okay, now in this memory I am creating, I just want to write whatever writing here, that is this line, control C, and just I want to put it here. You are able to see I'm simple creating a variable, and then I want to update the value of what, b is equal to 90. Okay, what is happen in the memory? Let's see. I am simple, what is this, creating variable a. So what is happen here in memory, there is a block is created which contain a value a is equal to 340. Understand? Not like this. It's, let's assume, for understand, let's assume a is equal to 35 store here. When I'm creating variable a and that variable a, I'm creating variable a, that variable a. Okay, for I think I have to remove this, so my mind is not that much clear about that. So let's do this like this, not like this exactly, but this is variable a. Okay, this is variable a which contain 340 value. When I'm creating another variable b and copy the value of a into b, what is happened into memory? So there is another block is created into memory, same as the value a, and they also contain the same value. Okay, okay, and the name of the variable is b. So how it's stored into memory means, when I'm creating primitive type of variable a which contains 340 value, and then I'm creating another variable b which contains same value as variable is contained, but you are able to see in memory there is no relationship between a variable and b variable. A variable means this variable contain actual value, b variable means contain actual value. This, if I want to update the variable b, if I want to update the variable p, so only b variable is going to be changed. Why only this? Why only b is only changed? This 340 is going to be like this, and 90 new value is going to be stored here like this after updation. But there is not any changes into a variable, because there is not any connection, there is not any relationship between a and b. This is why primitive type are the different. So if I want to copy the value of any variable into another variable in memory, there is another block is created. In that block, that particular same value is stored. So there is not any relationship between these two blocks. If I make any changes into this block, so there is not, we are able to see any changes into this particular block. This is example of primitive type. So you are able to understand what is the meaning of line when I'm writing into the particular program. That is what? Primitive copy the variable by their value. Understand? You have to understand this line. Primitive type is copy the variable by their value. If I'm copy the value of a into b variable, so only value is going to be copied, but in memory there is another block is created, another space are created. Okay, this is example of primitive type, how primitive type are works. Now I'm talking about the second type, that is reference type. For that I'm simple again taking example here, writing here reference type. You are able to understand how it works in memory. I'm again want to take the same example that I'm taking here. Okay, now simple like this, like this. Oh, okay, now it's work. And again after that I'm just writing here y dot name is equal to Shubham. These changes are done from my side into the program. This is our program which contain this information about that. Okay, this is a block. Now what happened to memory? Let's understand. This is the block on memory, and when I'm creating a object that contain a name variable and Akash is a string, what is happening in the memory? So there is a block and there is another block. Means there two blocks are created when I'm creating object x. So there are two blocks are created into the memory in different space. Understand? When I'm creating an object into a program, object x, so there's a two space are created into the memory. Two blocks are created in separate space. This block, and first of all I talk about this block. This block contain a variable. Which variable? This object. Which object? I'm just want to write here. Means our object are stored into this particular block that contain the value, that is Akash. Understand? Means when I am creating an object, so that object are stored into different location into the memory, and when I'm creating a variable, and that object are stored into a variable. Okay, so that variable is here, that is x. What does x variable contained? This x variable does not contain object. This x variable contain the address of this particular object. So what is the address? Let's assume the address of this particular object is like 34A5, A6. This is the address of this particular object. So this object are contained by this particular x variable. Understand? This particular address are stored by this particular reference variable. Means when I'm creating this particular things, which things? When I'm simple creating the x object, x reference variable which contain the reference or address of an object that contain a name variable. So this is a block which is this is x variable. This x variable only contain the reference. This variable not contain the value. This variable contain only reference of this object, and this by using this reference variable, this block, this x variable are able to make any changes in our object. So how the memory are stored? What happened when I'm simple like write this particular line, let y is equal to x. So what is happening to memory? Let's understand. When I'm writing let y is equal to x, so at that time value of the x variable is not copied. This object is not copied. the content are contained by x variable is only copy from the x variable to y variable. So in the same understanding, I am simple copy this and paste it here. Okay, for understanding only, like this. And this address is also copied into the y variable, and this, the name of this particular variable is y. Understand? Means when I'm copy the value of variable x into y, so what is happening in the memory, another variable y is created, and that variable contain the reference or a reference of x value object into this particular variable. Means in reference type, value is not copied, reference is copied from their variable. If I'm copy the value of x into y, the in reference type, so value is not copied, the reference that are contained by this particular x variable is going to be copied into the y variable. Now this, after that, this y variable also point the same object. Understand? We have to understand, of when I'm copying the value of x into y, so x and y both contain the reference of any of this particular object. They are containing what? They are containing address of this particular object, of this particular block. So by using that address, they are able to make any changes. Now let's assume y variable, this is y variable. If this y variable make any changes into this particular block, what changes are done by the y variable? Y variable simple doing a changes, that is what is done from y variable. Y variable simple make a changes, that is changing the name from Akash. Okay, I'm just writing like this. Variable is going to change here like this, and they are containing the another value is the size. Okay, if I want to, so it contains another value, that is name is equal to, not like this exactly. This Akash is going to be removed here. Just want to again make all this copy paste here, so you are able to not any changes. Okay, so what is happen here, just want to make it small first. So this line, I just want to remove this particular line. So what is happen when these particular things are done? So in memory, when this y variable make any changes, understand, when y variable make any changes from Akash to Shubham, understand, when y variable make any changes into the particular object, so these changes are also seen from the x variable. This is the reason whenever I am copy the value of x object into y object, and y object make any changes into the object, y variable make any changes into the object, so that particular object, that these changes is also seen from the x variable, because x variable y variable both are pointed to the same object. This is the reason I'm again want to write the line, whatever line I'm writing into the program, that is what, reference copy the variable by their reference or address. Understand? I think you are able to understand what the meaning of this particular line. What is the meaning of this line? This line says, when I am copy the value of x into y, at that time the reference means hashtag 34a6 is going to be copied into y variable. Value is not copied, reference is copy. Understand? Or address copy. Reference copy the reference type, copy the variable by their reference or address. In this primitive type, when I'm copy the value, so actual value going to be copied from the value of variable a into variable b. In memory, another variable is created that store a different same value. But here x variable and y variable, when I'm copy the variable of x that point to any this object, so this the reference is going to be copied from x variable to y variable. These are the line very important. Reference type copy the variable by the reference or address, but when I'm talking about this primitive type, to primitive type copy the variable by their value. I think you are able to understand. This is a reason why, when I'm making any changes into this program, when I'm making any changes in this particular program, means I'm simple creating variable a which contains this value, and then copy the value of b and making it changes into b variable, so there is not any changes seen into the a variable. A variable remains same. Understand? Now again I want to comment it out let's run this program again so you are able to understand. When x variable created y variable copy the reference of x into y. When y variable changes into the object, so that those changes is also seen from the x variable. So there you are able to see in x variable name going to be changed because both the variable x and as well as y both are pointing to the same object. You are able to see this example. Both x and y both are pointing to the same object. They are same, only contain the reference or address of this particular block. This is a reference type. In primitive type, actual value going to be copied first of all, and both variable there is not any there is not any relationship. This is the reason why if I'm updating the value of b, so there is not any changes seen from my side into a variable. I think your all types of doubt on all types of information about the data type is clear till now. So I just want to end the lecture and thanks for watching. If you have any doubt till now if first of all, if you reach this, if you are able to see this video till now, it means you have the hungry of learning of JavaScript. First thing. Second thing is, first of all, welcome to all of you again on my channel, and thanks for watching and thanks for giving me such motivation so I am able to create more videos about all these things. And let's end the video and thanks for watching.